The Weka Pass Railway is a New Zealand heritage railway. It is located at Waipara in the North Canterbury region of New Zealand's South Island. The original line opened in 1882, but declining commercial traffic saw it close almost 100 years later in 1978. Soon after the closure, a local community committee began to organise its reopening as a historical tourist attraction. Throughout the year, the train runs on 2 Sundays per month, but in January it runs every Sunday. There are usually 2 return trips on those open days, and a return trip normally takes 2 hours. After leaving Glenmark Station, the train runs across a section of the flat plains, past pastures and vineyards, for this is one of New Zealand's developing wine areas.
Afternoon folks, it's the time of the Weka Pass Railway, all tickets please. Thank you.
Leaving the plains behind, the train begins its climb up Weka Pass. Here the gradient can be as steep as 1 in 50. When construction originally began in the late 19th century, it was intended to continue inland to the west coast and north to Nelson. However, those plans were soon abandoned. Today the main route leaves Glenmark in a different direction, taking a more coastal route. The line ends at Waipara, and passengers have a 45-minute break while the engine is repositioned for the return trip downhill. There isn't much to see at Waipara these days, and most motorists just speed on through. While today's train was pulled by a powerful English-built DA-class diesel locomotive, in winter the railway's New Zealand-built vintage steam engine is often used. Unfortunately, the fire risk is too high in summer for the steam engine to be used. And before we depart, it is time for a safety inspection to be made. Soon it is time to head off back down to Glenmark. And look, no one has missed the train. The line is around 14 kilometres long, so the round trip is 28 kilometres. There is an open observation car at each end of the train. The impressive rock outcrops at Weka Pass are one of the trip's attractions. The train builds up quite a pace on this downhill stage. The Weka Pass Railway is operated by a non-profit society run by keen volunteers, and they certainly maintain a very enjoyable travel experience. Leaving the pass behind, we again view the wide plains of the Waipara Basin. Passing the grapevines again, perhaps we'll end up taking a bottle of the local product with us as a souvenir. This is the fastest growing wine region in New Zealand. There are around 80 vineyards covering over 1,200 hectares of vines. The characteristics of the local soil and climate make Pinot Noir and Rosé a specialty of the region. Waipara has the highest summer temperatures and the lowest summer rain of any wine-growing area in New Zealand. journey's end, and it would certainly be fun to do this trip again.